we'll start from where we have left off. Now, what is the difference between automation and mass production? So, automation begins, we can say that automation begins where mass production leaves off. But what I mean to say is that the automation is mass production applied to the point where the substitution of human labor and human control by mechanical labor and mechanical control is made complete or nearly complete. Automation is a changeover from mass production, and this will not come overnight. It will come gradually, so many of the techniques of the mass production will be used in the automation systems. So we cannot throw up the processes of mass production, and many will be used in the automated systems. But the main thing is that it is a substitution of the human labor and human control by mechanical labor and mechanical control, which is either complete or nearly complete. So now the question arises that the automation will create widespread employment or not. It is a very widely asked question. So we can have argument for and against this issue. Now, automation, what it is doing, it is eliminating human labor, which is going on for thousands of years. This is not the first time that we are doing it. Now, this mechanization of labor has released man's time and energy for various other pursuits. It has also led to unmatched material prosperity and increasingly better use of natural resources. That means when a single person was doing a production, the output was much less than when it is being done by a group of persons. The time required is also much larger when it is being done by a single person. Earlier also, one process was being done by a number of people. But with mechanization, we can free the people who are doing the same activity. So they are doing some other jobs which require greater skill, like design, installing, designing the end product, designing the control technology, and so on. So greater productivity of mass production has opened and enlarged many fields of employment like design, production, maintenance, packaging, distribution, selling, advertisement, etc. So these are the areas which are actually giving us more employment and creating new type of jobs. To give an example, suppose there is a company which manufactures pumps. Now, if we open the pump, we will see that there are a large number of components besides the motor. Now the company only make the basic components which are required to make the pump, and most of the other small components, those are being outsourced to some small other companies. Now these small companies, they actually comprises the ancillary industries, and these ancillary industries are generating a lot of employment. Now the company has found out that it is not economical to make all the small components which are required for making the pump. So the automation is gradually generating more workplaces and in turn new employment opportunities. Secondly, it has also made possible the phenomenal expansion of the material processing industries like metalworking, fuel, rubber and synthetic industries, which were not there when automation was not present. In today's manufacturing, very less number of people are involved in manufacturing, and that too they are not workers but they are managers. They are people with a higher skill who can determine that whether manufacturing is being carried out in a proper way or not. They are also designers, and in the future, which has not reached now, we will see that in the manufacturing plants the whole system is being automated. We have automated guided vehicles, we have automated storage systems, and automated storage systems, automated flow lines, etc. Now we will see what are the benefits of automation. Reduction or total elimination of tedious and routine operations like loading, unloading, assembly, inspection, etc. Now these jobs are very tedious jobs, and the person who are involved in such kind of jobs get tired after doing work for some time. Now if we can eliminate these works, then we can not only reduce the unnecessary work which is taking a lot of time, but also we can increase the productivity. The second point, as we see, is the creation of new and more interesting jobs. As we have said earlier, now these jobs will be of higher skill level, and in the future we will have less of operators and more number of people will be involved in management, in design. Persons will be involved in the design of end products or in the assembly. So these are the higher skill levels which will be required for the persons who will be working in these new interesting jobs. Point number 3 is the increase in productive capacity of the industry. So the productive capacity of the industry, that will be increased by the elimination of the more time consuming jobs, as we have seen earlier, like loading, unloading, etc. We can also design new machines which can perform different kinds of jobs in the same time, so time will be saved, so the production rate will be increased. Number 4 is the greater flexibility through the use of standard production units which can be arranged in different ways to get the end product. Example, by using various blocks, we used to make different things like a house, a ship, etc. So these are the building blocks technique which can be applied to automation. And here the flexibility will be increased because the building blocks are the standard products, but the final products which can be made from these building blocks can be of different types. Next point is the higher standard of living. If the automation is used correctly, in that case we can increase the production rate and we can eliminate the time consuming processes, and in this process we are increasing the profit of the company, and this profit, when distributed among the persons who are involved in the process, the overall standard of living of the person will be higher. So this is the answer to the question whether automation will create unemployment. So now we will see the reasons for automation. The first point is the increased productivity, which means greater output per hour of labor input. It will also decrease the price level as well. It will also increase, as we have seen in the last point, that it will increase the standard of living. Second point is high cost of labor. Now when we have high cost of labor, then only we can justify the high investment in the machines that we use in automation, because the automatic equipments, they are very expensive. Third point is the labor shortages. The shortage of labor actually forces us to go for automation. Fourth point is trend of labor towards service sector like insurance, personnel, legal, sales. So we have shortage of people which are involved in the manufacturing sector, which also justifies for automation. So that is one of the reason for automation. Fifth point is safety. For example, when we carry on an welding in a very closed place, so the fumes which are coming from the welding operation is very harmful for the operator. And in an automated system, we will have manipulators, robots who will do these jobs, and it is very safe. Sixth point is the high cost of raw material. Where the cost of raw material is very high, we have to use the raw material in a very precise manner, in the sense that we cannot afford to waste any material. Point number 7 is the improved product quality. Since the product is being operated by a machine, so and without any human interaction, so the quality of the product is very high. For example, when a human being is operating on a work, during the morning when he starts work, the quality of product is good, but during the end of the day or at the last hours of his work, the quality of the product deteriorates. But this is not in case of a machine. So the product quality will be the same throughout, whether it is 9 in the morning or during the evening at 5 o'clock. Point number 8 is the reduced manufacturing lead time. Now lead time is the time when the company receives the order till the delivery of the product to the customer. So this time is very important to maintain. Now if we cannot maintain the time, then it may happen that the customer may reject the product. Now this lead time can be maintained, as we know the time for the production of that particular product or the particular assembly. Number 9 is the reduction of the in-process inventory, which is the capital locking. That means we have the parts which are waiting for assembly, and this is not required, as this is capital locking. And finally, we have the high cost of non-automating. That means the firms which are not automating will not be able to compete with the other firms which have automated systems. So with this, we complete the topic on integrated automation. Thank you.